Alright, number one was the one that took me a couple of tries because there's several ways you can start. And I had to start a few different ways before I found what worked best for me. I helped a few of y'all, tried to guide y'all which way to start. Got 16 t to the negative 1 over t to the 5th. I'm going to have to reorient this again. All to the negative 5th times 5 over t to the negative 4th. Pause while we reorient one more time. Alright, maybe we'll be good now. I don't know. Alright, so the negative 5 outside that big bracket or parentheses, whatever that is, that's what gave some people the 5th. They wanted to flip that first. Best advice is to start on the inside and work your way out. So I would take care of that negative 1 first. Now the question is, that negative 1, what is it actually a power of? The 16, the t, both, what's it actually a power of? Just the t. It's only on the t. Okay? So the t has a negative power, which means it needs to go on bottom to become positive. So I'm going to put a t to the first on bottom. There's already a t to the 5th down there. So I've already got a t to the 5th, and I'm bringing a t to the first. What will I have? T to the 6th. So we're going to have 16 over t to the 6th, all to the negative 5th. Let's stick with this side, and we'll save that one for last. Now, okay, I'm going to get Caleb get ready to get caught up. Now there's nothing inside I can simplify anymore, so I am going to be looking at that negative 5 power out there as soon as Caleb gets ready.
Oh, you're good.
All right. Negative 5 power, that means that whole thing is to the negative 5. And since it's a negative power to a whole fraction, I can take the reciprocal of the fraction and make it positive, right? Okay, so I'm going to say this is t to the 6th over 16 to the 5th power. Alright, now I got power to powers. What's your rule on power to power? Do you add, subtract, multiply, divide? Chase is right, multiply. So this is a t to the 30th over a 16 to the 5th. Now I got really nervous about 16 to the 5th at first because I'm trying to figure out what 16 of 16 of 16 of 16 of 16 is. But then I looked at the choices and they left it as 16 to the 5th. So I didn't, thankfully, Caleb had to worry about that. Alright, so other than that, can I simplify this side any? Anything else I can do to that? Aaron's right, nope. So I'm ready to bring down that 5 over t to the negative 4th. Alright, t to the negative 4th. I can't have a negative power. It's on the bottom, so where do I move it to make it positive? The top. Good, Hayden. Do I bring the 5 down? Do I flip them? The 5 doesn't have a negative power, so I don't mess with it. So it's going to stay just the t to the 4th that's going up there. So I've got t to the 30th over 16 to the 5th times 5 t to the 4th. And that, if you need to write that over something because that looks yunky there, it's all over 1. Now, multiplication of fractions, multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. So on the top, I got 5 times 1 on those coefficients. And then what do I do with the powers of the t when it's multiplied? Add them, so 30 and 4. On the bottom, I got 16 times 1, and it's still got a 5th. So that was B, as in Boomland.
Oh, that not as hard as I thought. I just didn't know where to start at all.
Understandable.
See, I got all the way to the t to the 30th. 16 is good.
Uh-huh.
And when I went to multiply,
Forgot to put the t before on top. Alright, numero dos. Not going to go through every one of these, but we will talk about what we need to. What's the coefficient and the degree? If there's nothing attached, one of y'all used that word the other day, I liked it. If there's nothing attached to the x, it's understood one coefficient and one exponent. So on just x, what's its degree and coefficient? Understood 1. It's very good. D is in dynamite. Now we do. And I would write, the guys up here are fixing theirs, I would write on that x is the same as 1x to the first. So you know where those ones came from.
So, like, you only do that if it's an X.
Yes, if it doesn't have a power on it. Yep. Yep.
It's hard.
All right. What about number 3? Do we need to practice subtraction on that?
No.
What'd y'all get for number 3? It is A. Anybody struggle with number 3?
No.
Okay. We're going to talk about number 4 because there's several questions that are worded like number 4. So we'll talk about this one. It says to identify it as a monomial, a binomial, a trinomial, or none. If it has 1 term, it's a monomial. 2 terms, a binomial. 3 terms, a trinomial. Anything more than 3, it doesn't have one of these cute names. It's just a polynomial. So it would be none of those names. Okay, so number 4, I count the terms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not any of these. So I'm picking either C or B. They say none, right? What's the degree? Which power is the highest? 5, so it'd be C. Alright, bless you. First period, we needed to look at number 5, so go ahead and look at it with y'all, see how we did on it. I had some people asking me to check their division work on number 5. I think that was in this class. There's no division sign there. When it's right next to each other, it means multiply. And the directions also said find the product. That means multiply. Alright, I got 3x squared plus 3x plus 5 times x squared plus 4x plus 2. First period, some people started hollering at me to do FOIL here. I understand why you're saying that, but I can't technically call it FOIL because I don't have 2 binomials. Those are both trinomials. So I am going to multiply using the distributive property, so it's kind of the same. When I go 3x squared times x squared, what do I get? 3x to the 4th. 3x squared times 4x. Well, x cubed. Caleb, the only one that can multiply. 3x squared times 2. 6x squared, I guess so. Now I got my 3x to go. It's your option on how you want to write this. You can keep writing them out to the side. Y'all know I like to go ahead and stack my like terms up. So I'm going to say 3x times x squared, and I'm going to write it underneath its like term. 3x times 4x, and then 3x times 2. It's an x squared. Then my last one's the 5. And 5 times 2. Alright, if you wrote them all out to the side, still in a long line, you're good. You're just looking for like terms now. I've got mine matched up, so I'm just going to combine them as I need to. This is 3x to the 4th, 15x cubed, 11 and 12, 3, 23x squared, is that right? 26x and 10. Now, I think when I did it on my own, when I was working the study guide, I stopped a long time ago because there was all the choices. I used the choices to eliminate themselves. I don't think I had to go all that far. Once I got, well, maybe I did. I don't remember. Yeah, the cube. Yeah, you're right. And then eliminate from there. All right, number 6 is like number 4. What'd you put on number 6? Good, Mason. D is correct. It's got 3 terms and its degree is 3. 7's just like terms, but it says it's a subtraction sign between them. They are like terms, m to the 4th and m to the 4th. You got negative 2 minus 12. So what's negative 2 minus 12? Negative 14. Notice on D, they're trying to trick you, acting like you don't know what to do with your powers.
That's what I did first.
Yep, they got you. Powers stay the same when you add and subtract, so stick with A on number 7. Alright, number 8. Foil on that. Do you yet, hopefully, because it's been since the 8th grade, do you yet know number 8 without foiling? What'd you get?
A.
A. And it's not the end of the world if you FOIL it. You're going to get the right answer, but that's difference of squares. You've been using difference of squares since the 8th grade, so save yourself some time when you can. It is A as an aardvark. Aardvark. Some kind of rodent, I think.
It's an ant.
Similar. Alright, number 9, we did that on the bell ringer with Tyler a Friday or so ago. What's anything to the 0 power? D as in dynamite. Okay, 10. 10, the guys up here figured it out, but we didn't do one like that in class, so let's discuss it real quick. I got 12, A to the 5th, B to the 6th. Alright, it asks for the coefficient and the degree. So obviously your coefficient is 12. So you're looking at your choices, and it's got to be either B or C. The difference is what it tells you for the degree, and what I've told you is that the degree is the highest power. If my variables had been split by an addition or subtraction sign, if this had been something like this, my degree would be 6, right? So 5 would not be a choice for a degree in anything. So you could have marked that out and then known it just by process of elimination. What you do when there's no sign separating them is you just take the sum. So this 5 and 6 gave you a degree of 11. Okay, and we didn't do one like that.
So I was right. I had to erase. Somebody told me that I had it wrong
Wasn't me.
in this table.
What is it? That came from Michael.
Yeah, Michael told me wrong.
Yeah, no, I had something that you told me that was wrong.
Yeah, it was you, Marty.
What is it?
It's C. It's not B. Y'all told me B after I had C.
No, it was you.
Alright, on 11, do we need to look at 11? I don't mind to multiply 11 with you if we need to. What'd y'all get? Nobody got an answer? C? We okay on multiplying? Do we need to do another one?
I got 2.
No, I got C.
We alright?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Good multiplying? Good, Dustin?
Well, it's easy.
Alright. 12 is another FOIL one. You could write it twice and FOIL it. There's also a shortcut. We talked about it in here. When you have a P plus 16 squared, when you have that's called a perfect square trinomial, the shortcut is square the first one, square the last one, multiply the two terms and double them. 16p times 2 is 32p. Write it twice and FOIL it. If you don't remember the shortcut, it's not the end of the world. So that'd be B. Alright, 13. What we know about 13. Its degree is 2, which means it's gonna the ends of the graph are gonna point the same direction. So it's gonna be something looking like that. Its leading coefficient's negative. It's a negative 1/8, which means it's gonna be going down. So it's going to be a parabola that opens down, which means it's going to keep reaching to the right forever and to the left forever. So its domain is going to be the negative infinity to infinity. Okay, so you can mark out only D based on that. Now the range, this is going to keep going down forever. So its range has got to go negative infinity, but Michael's right, it doesn't go up forever. So it's not going to go to infinity. So you can mark out A and B now, right? Okay, and we've already marked out D. So the only one left is C. So that would be from 0 to negative infinity. If you remember from Algebra 2, in standard form of a quadratic is this. To find the vertex, you did negative b over 2a. The quadratic you were given was negative 1/8x squared. It didn't have anything in the b spot. So 0 divided by anything is 0. That's why it's 0 on that, but you didn't need to really know all that. Alright. 14, you had on your bell ringer, exit question yesterday. I won't work it all the way through unless you want me to, but I do want to talk about it real quick. The area of a rectangle is is length times width. Gives us our area 6m squared minus 5m minus 6 is equal to, we're trying to find the length, and the width is 2m minus 3. So what you were doing to solve that, the way I solved it, my length is being multiplied by this, so I did that by dividing, just like a normal equation. So I set it up as 2m minus 3. Then I have my 6m squared minus 5m minus 6. If you don't remember long division, what else could you have done?
Couldn't you have plugged in like?
Picked a choice, took choice A, multiplied it by that, saw if it was this or not. Take choice B, multiply it by this, see if it's that or not. So you can do that, that's fine. I want to run through the long division for you real quick just to give you a refresher. 2m times what is 6m squared? 3m. Distribute 3m to both of these. 6m squared minus 6m. Subtract. Negative 5 minus negative 6. I think I've written something down wrong, haven't I?
Is it supposed to be negative 6m?
Nope. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Thank you. Thank you. Negative 5 minus negative 9 is 4m. 2m times what is 4m? Good. 2. 2 times 2m is 4m. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Nothing left over. There was your answer. Okay, we've done a few like 15 already. What'd y'all get on 15?
A.
A had 4 terms, so it was none of those. 16 they wrote fancy, but it's just addition. Do you see that in there? So all you're doing is adding like terms. What do you think on that? What'd you get?
C.
C's good. Holler at me if we need to stop and do one. I think y'all are good on adding like terms. 17's again written fancy, but it's just multiplication. So you would just be distributing the 4x plus 3 to that trinomial. What'd you get on 17? D. Very good. Alright. Which way did you move your decimal on number 18?
Left.
To the left. And Caleb got?
C.
C is in Caleb. Last page. Now I did notice on this one there was 25 questions. So it prints these however it prints your test. So that means there'll be 25 on the test tomorrow. Normally there's just been 20, so you got 5 more this time. I want to look at 19. Faux show. I got 3 to the 5th times 5 squared, all to the negative 4th. Alright, we already talked about power to a power rule before. What's the operation when it's power to a power? Add, subtract, multiply, divide on power to a power.
Add.
Nope. Multiply, thank you. So this will be 3 to the negative 20th times 5 to the negative 8th. Now I got negative powers. I can't leave negative powers. So this is going to go on bottom and be positive. This is going to go on bottom and be positive. I got worried thinking I was going to figure out what 3 times 20 times was, but luckily the choices stopped here. So I didn't have to figure that out. That'd be 3 basically. It'd be a big old number. Actually, it'd be a very small number because you're dividing it by 1. That's your blue is almost all gone. You're gonna go put some red in next or what?
Not red.
What color are we thinking?
Purple.
No, that's too much like blue. It's gotta be something.
No, it's not. Don't want to talk you out of it. Purple's good.
Pastel blue.
We already have blue.
Well, last time it was actually purple.
See, Chase said I thought it was blue. Gotta go different. Alright. 20. Descending power of the variables. What's your highest power?
7.
So what had to be first?
16.
So it had to be A.
7.
Yep, had to be A. I was really confused on where they even got choice B from. I don't know where that came from.
No worries.
C had it in there too. I don't know. But anyway, A had to be right. All right, 21. Let's look at 21.
What was 19?
19 was B, as in Boomland. All right, what do we do on division with our powers?
Subtract.
Subtract. Kaylee's correct. So 7 minus 16 gets us -9. So we're looking at x to the -9. When we got a negative power, we put it on bottom and make it positive. How about that? Good job. 22 is the only one I used the calculator on, and I used it good on 22. There's way too many decimals and zeros on that. It says the polynomial, all that, blah, predicts the sales volumes of a company in millions of items where X is the number of years from now. Determine the predicted sale 10 years from now. So you're plugging a 10 in on all those X's. Whatever you get will be your answer. So you had to do 0.0041 times 10 to the 4th plus 0.0054 times 10 to the 3rd plus 0.006 times 10. I'm messing that all up. Let's fix it. Plus, I'm on the second, 0.006 times 10 squared plus 0.17 times 10 plus 1.04. Whew, that's fun. All right, did all that, and I got a choice. I had to think for a minute, though. So what y'all got?
Yeah, I got B.
So the directions the last sentence says, round your answer to the nearest 100th million. Nearest 100th million. And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, well, that's only nearest hundreds. But that's kind of dumb of me to think that. Y'all probably didn't even think this. This is in millions. So tenths, hundredths, millions. That's what it meant. I'm thinking tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths, millions. I'm like, there should be a lot of decimals, but I was stupid, so happens. All right, 23. Which way did you move the decimal on 23? Left. What's your answer? B. That good? Good. All right, we'll look at 24. It's another scientific notation one. All right, where's my decimal going to go in this throughout this scientific notation?
After the first 3.
After that first 3, Miss Kaylee is correct. Times 10. How many times did I move the decimal point?
Twice.
So it's just to the second. They put that, oh no they didn't. I was going to say they put that 4th on there to trick you, but they didn't even put a 4th. Some people will think, they'll go to here and say you moved it 4 times, but it didn't start here. It started there where you just moved it twice. So they were nicer to you than I would have been. Alright, the last one is fancy writing again, but it's just multiplication. And it's just a binomial times a binomial, so you're just foiling on those. What'd you get on that last one? C? That's correctamundo. C is in correctamundo. Any of the ones that I skipped that you would like me to go back and revisit? I don't mind. We got time. Doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, Bader's good. Alright, if you want to use this tomorrow, you can if you got it. If you want to use notes, you can if you got them. Everybody alright?
I love that roll.
You artichoke.
Come here, huh? You gotta do it.
Come here.